Okay, welcome back to Betamax Rebel Outpost. So this is a really sweet SL-HF450 with the original box and packing, original remote and manual, in really clean condition. This is a nice middle-of-the-road Super Beta Hi-Fi. Here's the front controls. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the top cover off and see what's going on with this thing. A little bit of a oxide wear mark there. Looks like they never cleaned the heads. Never bothered popping the top off and giving that drum a cleaning. And what's going to happen is that wear mark's just going to get worse and worse as that oxide is ground further into the material. So one large filter cap is basically a dead short. It's definitely a bad cap. So I think it would be best to replace both of these large filter capacitors, 6800 microfarad, 25 volt. I think I have a few of these around. Yeah, so there it is. That's how I resurface my upper drums to get a little bit more use out of them. This seems to offer the least resistance for tape path travel that I have found, at least, short of having a brand new old stock drum. Yeah, it looks like A head, and here's B. B looks pretty good. Looks like there's some grit here on. Looks kind of damaged. No, I don't think it's damaged. It's just got some kind of grit. It's got a little bit of dirt. Looks a little bit better after a cleaning. The heads look a little thin. There's the B head. Here's A head. Okay, so here's the reading. There's battery. Got it caled in pretty good. Up there. And that looks really, really good for a resistive measurement. I guess this would be middle range wear, but this should be an excellent video head based on the condition we've seen up close, the appearance of the video head. They look like they still have some meat on them. There's still that rounded ridge. So here's the old STK5441 IC voltage regulator, and they're known to go out, they're known to fail. They cost around 15 to 30 bucks on eBay for a good one, and there's a lot of knockoffs out there for cheaper, but they're just not worth buying because so often I've purchased cheap regulators and they last about a week. Not even a year. Sometimes there's a dead pin and you're missing the 5 volts or you're missing the 9 volts or something annoying like that. Why even bother? You know, if it's just going to burn out on you in a year. At least with a Sanyo original part, I know this part is going to last at least 15 or 20 years. Maybe even longer. I mean, this one is still working just fine. I just want to reset it and start it fresh. Gotta find some decent replacement capacitors to fill C007 and C002. I think I may have some 6800 105 degree 25 volt 6800. This is where all the hi-fi processing takes place in the SL-HF450. As I was going over the board, I noticed that this capacitor has been changed. I noticed it right away, C228, and that's right next to IC1. When you look inside one of these machines, this capacitor is always a Nichicon brand capacitor, and they're known to fail. And they usually go open or short, and when this cap goes short on pin 42 and 3, the audio level, the whole, you lose hi-fi completely. You'll hear some crackle, tiny bit of crackle on the left-right channel, but that's it. It's because this is shorting out IC1. I'm going to take that out and put in one of my Panasonics here. Except this is a 105 degree capacitor, and this weird brand is a 85 degree. And it is a little bit tall. It looks like it's going to be buttered up against the board. So yeah, I'll just take this cap out because I'm just unsure of the quality really. There we go. Taking a quick look here at the AU19 board, which is sort of an audio interface board. This will handle the functionality of the VU meters. There's an audio switch in here to switch between the hi-fi and the mono audio. There's an MPX decoder from way back, which is pretty cool. But one thing you have to watch for, take a look right here, RCA video audio jacks. They don't use enough solder, and it's very common to see these loosen up and kind of break, become loose. And then you have, you know, an intermittent problem with your picture. You have a crappy ground. You know, loose connections start causing havoc in these machines, in any machine, right? So what I like to do, besides add solder, I like to add a little bit of strength here to this connection using thick leads from large filter capacitors. This is good material to use to fix up traces, and in this case I just want to reinforce these pads on the PCB here. Alright, so everything looks okay on this AU19 board. All the capacitors look good. I'm going to go ahead and install the hi-fi section now. Very easy to do. Just going to line up these pins on the connector and just press it down. See, let's get all this up out of the way. This into the two slots right there. There we go. That's in. This video output capacitor here, C218, that's original, and eventually that's going to short itself out or go open, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it right now while I'm here. I have this Panasonic 1000 microfarad 10 volt I'm going to put it in its place, and that will be handling the video out composite signal. Yeah, these Nichicons, they're always shorting out, so I'd rather just not even have them in here. There's actually one more right here near Syscon CPU chip. So I'm going to go ahead and remove it too before it becomes a problem. Almost forgot one thing. It's always a good idea to check the fluorescent display for dry solder points. And I see a couple right here at the end. This can really screw you up later on as the problem just gets worse and more havoc will occur. Okay, I'm just going to check the power supply for a few basic things, starting with CN2 pin 2, which should be 12 volts steady, and it is. Okay, then pin 2 of CN1, that's down here, that should be 9, 8.98, that's close enough. And then we have pin 4 of CN3, 5.5, 5.475, close enough. Wow, that's really nice output. And that's not doing a thing to adjust the tracking, that's just as is. I haven't checked drum speed, I haven't checked cap breeze speed, none of that's been checked, just the power supply. Here's fast forward, here's rewind, nice and smooth. We'll have a look at pause. There we go, there's pause. Well, let's see what it looks like on the scope. We'll take a look at the RF output, and we'll trigger that to the RF switch pulse. I can get this on here. There we go. Let's put these test leads through this little convenient port. And we'll just maximize the RF output by adjusting the tracking. We're right about there. And I'll just put this external trigger on channel 2 so you can see the RF switch pulse. Yeah, very clean, very stable picture. Here's the RF sweep. We'll adjust the tracking for the maximum RF amplitude, and I think it's really right about there. So it looks like B head is flatter than A head. Might do with a little bit of adjustment. Okay, let's see if we can adjust the A channel output. and the B channel is being scanned when the RF switch pulse is high. So the A channel is right here when the switch pulse is low. See that? There, that looks a little flatter. Then there's overshoot right there. You don't want to overshoot it like that. That's not flat. That's flat. Right there. It's pretty nice. We have sharpness adjust, easy to get to, super beta on off, automatic tracking with defeatable manual adjust, beta 2, beta 3 record mode, audio and line input, left right stereo select, and hi-fi normal select. It's also capable of playing back beta 1 recorded tapes and super beta 1 recorded tapes up to 5.6 megahertz. Pretty nice headphone jack with volume control. Over here on the right we have the peak level meter and the adjustment for simultaneous adjustment of left-right audio input for hi-fi stereo. Very interesting synchro edit function, which helps improve the quality of editing. It's got hours, minutes, seconds, as opposed to previous models like SL-HF450, 400, 500. All have the where it measures how many feet are on the tape. I don't really find that very useful. I like getting an approximation of where I am on the tape based on hours, minutes, and seconds. Makes it a lot easier. I like the fact that it's got a headphones jack with volume control and that it's the 1/4 inch style for TRS jacks. I like that a lot. I don't really care for those little 1/8 stereo mini plugs. And there it is, back to working condition again. I'm not sure about replacing the head and upper drum yet. I think a lot of use can come out of this machine just the way it is. It just needed a really good freshen up.
At last, a VCR that, hooked up to your stereo system, transforms the home video experience into the home theater experience and is fully compatible with all existing beta tapes. There's an incredible technological story behind it, but to really appreciate beta hi-fi, just sit back, relax, and open your eyes and ears to a new world of home entertainment. Sony Beta Hi-Fi, the theater experience hits home.